has returned, and is is there something wrong with this camera? Do I look fucking amazing? The salt and pepper beard, the hair. Oh my goodness! And realize I look this good. Y'all should tell people to come look at how good I look. 888-STOOL-22 is the number to call. Let's check in on YouTube. Hey, Jay Hinder, Michael Lee, Angelo Bosaki, KJ, Phila, ML, Justin Noble, Brian Hej, Jesus Plays Activity. I don't know what that means. Casey Waller, Tojo, Snooze, Caden Rutherford, Zach Webb, Tom Kovalik, Gumby Incognito, Matt Dixon, Oompa, Anthony 5, Mike, Ryan S, Tim, Coy Little, KS Sooner, you should leave. You're not going to like the first 5 minutes. Coop. What is up, everybody? I am back. College football is back. We just had another excellent weekend of upsets and disappointments and heartbreaks and great wins. We had it all this weekend in college football. 888-STOOL-22 is the number that you can call and get on this show. And in about 15 minutes, I'm going to open it up to all calls. But it's a Monday, so you get my takes first. I got 9 takes on a Monday. Number 1, this is the same old Oklahoma Sooners. A week after they dominated Nebraska and a week after Kansas State lost to Tulane, Oklahoma rolls back into Norman and welcomes Kansas State, who has their number. Why? Because Kansas State's not a bunch of pussies. Kansas State plays physical football. They'll hit you in the mouth, and Oklahoma can't stand it. And I thought Brent Venables would change that pretty quickly. I know he's going to change it long term. I know he's going to change their style of play. I know he's going to get better defensive players. He's going to get tougher defensive players. He's going to make it more of a defensive team. I know that's going to happen with Brent Venables. I thought, having watched them against Nebraska being awful, of course, but you can still tell Oklahoma's defense tackled well in space, did good things. I thought this might be different, but no, this is like Lincoln Riley never left. It's a team that can score a lot of points, but when somebody is more physical than them, they clam up. They're like a flower who just can't handle it. They are not built for physical football teams, and this is the same old Oklahoma, which is disappointing. But again, for the future, it's not going to matter. I think 3 years down the line, Venables will have gotten that pussy pillow fighting football out of them. But for right now, they're still the pillow fighting champions of the world. They made Adrian Martinez look like a Heisman Trophy candidate. That's how bad they were the other night. Same old Oklahoma. That's take number 1. Take number 2. I see a lot of people saying Hendon Hooker's a Heisman candidate. I see a lot of people saying Tennessee is a national title contender. I see a lot of people saying that Tennessee could make the playoff. I see a lot of people saying Tennessee's a top 10 team. I fear that you guys are overreacting to beating a very, very mid Florida team. And it's not that they beat a mid Florida team. That's fine. They handle business. And Hendon Hooker is a Heisman candidate. He is very good. He's the best player on that team. The same problems that plagued Tennessee last year are there this year. That defense is not good. That defense, they had a lead. They should have covered that game easily the way their offense played, but they made Anthony Richardson look like he was fantastic. He's not. And Tennessee let Florida hang around. Tennessee should be very excited right now. They're undefeated. They're a good football team. They're not a great football team yet. I fear that they're going to have this off week and then go into LSU and get humbled very quickly before their Alabama game. I don't want that to happen. I would like for them to be undefeated before they play Alabama, but this is a team that people are crowning, and there's still a massive, massive problem on that roster. Defensively, they're not good, and I hope they find it very soon because Tennessee being good and interesting is good for college football and the SEC. 888-STOOL-22. Line 3 here, number 3. Miami's quarterback last week, Tyler Van Dyke, came out and said, hey, guys, I like playing road games because the atmosphere our home fans give us is not very good. Tyler Van Dyke then responded to his statement by going home and playing against Middle Tennessee State, playing so poorly that he got benched. I don't know what's happening in Miami. but a loss to Texas A&M is acceptable. A home loss to Middle Tennessee State is very, very unacceptable. And if your quarterback's going to go out there and say that he likes road games better than home games, then he needs to come home and give the fans something to rally around, something to build towards, something to support. Laying a complete egg, shitting the bed, and getting benched at home after you've insulted the home fans is a crisis of leadership. In Miami, that was one of the more pathetic performances I've ever seen from a team I thought was going to be good. Number 4. As pathetic as Miami was, at least they didn't give their coach $95 million for having a decent season last year. Michigan State had a pretty good season last year and gave their coach $95 million and followed that up by going on every Twitter, every Instagram, everything social media this summer, and inundating us with Tuck coming, Tuck coming, Tuck coming, Tuck coming. Well, when the fuck's he going to get here? Because he hasn't been coming yet this year. They go out to Washington to get beat by a very good team in Washington last week, but then they return home, at home in East Lansing, and absolutely get their shit pumped by a good Minnesota team. And it's fine to lose to Minnesota. They're a good team. To get beat 34-7, and to get beat so soundly, and to get beat so embarrassingly, and to not fix the problems you had in the offseason like a bad pass defense. What is Tuck doing? If he's just a social media superstar and he's just a pretty face that you can put out and say, Tuck coming, Tuck coming, Tuck coming, well, maybe invest some of that $95 million into somebody who's going to coach the fucking football team. Take number 5. I fear that a lot of you have reacted the wrong way on Clemson's win the other day. Everything I see is people saying Clemson's defense is not elite. Clemson's defense isn't good. Clemson's not all that good this year. I think you're wrong. They went on the road to a very good Wake Forest team. Wake Forest was one of the best quarterbacks in the country, one of the best offenses in the country, and they were in a shootout. Clemson won a game that they're not used to winning. They're not used to being in a shootout, and their quarterback, who has been much maligned by a lot of fans, absolutely played his nuts off. Their offense played their nuts off, and they won a tough game in a tough environment over a tough team. That's a road win over a ranked team. It doesn't matter how you get it, just get it. Now they'll come home and play NC State this week. I think they'll be ready. I think they'll win that game too. Clemson should be celebrated for that win the other day, not derided. I promise you. And I love to deride Clemson because they're the biggest cult in college football, but you guys are wrong on your reaction to this game. 888-STOOL-22. There's only one national college football person that told you this summer, looked you dead in the eye sockets and said, hey, you better get it on Kansas because they have maybe the best coach in the Big 12. They have a very good quarterback, and they're going to be a good team this year. I said it. That's me. I was wrong on so many teams. I got to take a win where I can get it. I was wrong on Miami. I was wrong on several others, but I was so right on Kansas. They're 4-0. And if you have an AP vote and you didn't spend one of those on the Kansas Jayhawks, I hope you die of gonorrhea and lose your vote. One of those two. Because you don't deserve it. You deserve the gonorrhea. Number 7. 9 takes on a Monday, then I'm getting to your calls. The Arkansas Razorbacks are a good team, a good, solid team. They're an 8-4 team. There's nothing to be ashamed of. That's fine. They were 8-4 last year, and they were garbage for years before that. But anybody who pretended they were a top 10 team either doesn't know what they're talking about or is lying to you. They are flawed. Their pass defense is bad. Their quarterback can't throw the ball down the field. They don't have receivers that stretch the field. They can run it. They're very physical, and they get after the quarterback. They're elite at the line of scrimmage. 10 yards off the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, they're bad. They're not that good. They got exposed Saturday night. They are a top 15 to 20 team, but they lost to Texas A&M because they're not a top 10 team. That's what I've been telling you. They got exposed. The same thing will happen this weekend when the Kentucky Wildcats lose to Ole Miss. Kentucky is a solid, good team. Physical. Offensive line's bad this year, which is rare. They got a running back coming back this week. They're a good team. They got a good defense, but they're not a great team. They have no business being in the top 10. There's several SEC teams, and I'm an SEC guy. Georgia, Alabama being at the top, fine. Tennessee's not a top 10 team. We should stop trying to tell people that. Kentucky's not a top 10 team. Stop trying to tell people that. It makes us look wrong and stupid. Kentucky's like 18th, and they'll get exposed this weekend. Take number 8. The Big 12. I have no idea who the best team in the Big 12 is. Is it TCU? Is it Texas Tech? Is it Baylor? Is it Oklahoma? Is it Oklahoma State? Is it Texas with a healthy Quinn Ewers? Who is it? Who is the best team in the Big 12? Could be any of those teams. I personally think it's Texas with a healthy Quinn Ewers. I think they'll win a lot of shootouts. Could be Baylor. Could be Oklahoma. Could be Oklahoma State. What a fascinating conference. They're not getting anybody in the playoff. Nobody's good enough. But there's also no bad teams. It's a fascinating conference this year. 888 Stool 22. Tiger Hood says Syracuse is a top 10 team. Well, if I could do drug testing, I would give it to Tiger Hood right now because you're a fucking idiot. And number 9, my last take before I get to your calls. Ohio State is the best team in the Big Ten. Ohio State's about to roll the Big Ten. Michigan found out very quickly what it's like when you don't play a junior high team on a Saturday. They won by 7, but it wasn't pretty. Michigan State's obviously not as good as they were. Penn State's better, and they got to go to Penn State. But Ohio State doesn't even have the best receiver in the country right now, and they're rolling Wisconsin. Wisconsin's not good, not great, but they treated them like an FCS team. Ohio State, their offense struggled against Notre Dame. They're off the mat. They're cruising. Every pass is to a wide-open receiver. Every run, it's 8 yards before he's touched. Ohio State is the class of the Big Ten and is about to skull-fuck that conference. All right. How's everybody doing? TJ, how you doing?
I've been better, I guess.
Oh, I noticed you're not wearing a Rutgers hat today.
Yeah, Yankees 2 weeks till the playoffs start.
Okay, well, I mean, Rutgers is in the middle of their season.
Yeah, they'll probably figure it out this weekend.
Against Ohio State?
Yep.
Yep.
I know that, obviously different levels of pain fandom, but I know that you've experienced games just like that where you get your hopes up over a winnable game and then
it happened to me 8 days ago, 9 days ago.
Yeah, exactly.
If you are a college football fan, the worst day of your entire year is the first loss your college football team takes. And that's going to happen to everybody but everybody but one team. The first loss your college football team takes in a year is the worst day on the calendar. 888 Stool 22.
Did you see Ole Miss's jerseys?
Are they clan robes?
Let's check it out.
What are they? No, I did not see Ole Miss's jerseys. What the fuck is that? What? Be real. Be real to me. What's going on there? I'm not gonna lie. The helmets look pretty good. I'm not gonna hate on the helmets. The helmets look good. That's a hoodie. Is that? What company is that? Realtree? They're wearing Realtree. Mossy Oak, the camouflage companies from Mississippi, they're wearing Realtree. I'm torn. Is that a mountain? Is that a mountain? Is it supposed to be an oceanic wave? I don't know. Surely they're not wearing jerseys that look like that. 888 Stool 22. 888 Stool 22. It is time to open up the call. Let's see. We'll go to line 1. Cade in Fort Worth, go.
Hey, Brandon. Great job on TCU -2. Always feels great to go and get the iron skillet back. I mean, beating your rivalry after losing to him 2 straight times is an unreal feeling.
I hope to have that.
Monday, hey, it's all good, brother. I love you. I love you. I just want you to know that. But I'm just taking this Monday to take it all in. Obviously, the Sooners coming into town off a loss, not really a recipe for a good time for me to have on Saturday at the game. But wanted to get your take. I think Texas Tech beating Texas was an unbelievable win. Shout out to Joey McGuire. I've come on here and talked a lot of shit about them. They look really good. But with that being said, I really think Kansas State is for real. And I think Texas Tech, historically, off of a big program-defining win, if you will, historically hasn't really fared well on the road.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember Mike Leach. I think they beat Texas at home and then in 2008 and then ended up losing by like 50 points to OU. But wanted to get your take on Kansas State and Texas Tech this week. I think the Big 12 champion could potentially have 9 wins going into the Big 12 championship game, ending the season with 10 games. I think it's just going to be a free-for-all, and everyone's going to be cannibalizing yourself. I'll hang up and listen. Thanks so much, Brandon. Have a great one.
Well, I think beating a winless Texas team at home is a different animal than beating Oklahoma on the road. And Kansas State had the embarrassing fuck-up a couple weeks ago to Tulane, but I think they're among the best in the Big 12. I would lean towards Kansas State heavily in this situation. I think they're just a solid team. Joe McGuire is a very good coach, though. Texas Tech good, too. Big 12's interesting, very interesting. 888 Stool 22. Let's see. What else you guys want? Is LSU going to run the table in the West? No, they're not. No, they're not. They're not going to play many teams that shit the bed like we do. Let's go with Cole in Tampa. First of all, I hope you're okay, Cole. I know you got a weather situation coming your way, so our thoughts are with you, sir.
I appreciate it. But listen, a month through the season, after what happened last season, Florida State. I was there Saturday night, front row. It was electric. Doak Campbell at night. The energy's back with the program. But I want to walk back what I called in a couple months ago leading up to the season, and I gave you a dark horse for the Heisman.
Jordan Travis.
He's 4-0 leading this team. Jordan Travis is playing out of his mind.
Mm-hmm. He's good. He's a good quarterback. He's a top 10 quarterback in the country so far this year.
So far, I will say these next 3 games are the proving stretch.
Yep.
For Florida State.
Wake Forest, NC State, Clemson. That's coming up, the next 3 games for Florida State.
I will say this, all very winnable games. I think these are winnable games.
All very winnable games. Also all very losable games. But
Agreed.
The way Florida State's playing, and listen, they came out the other day, and I know Boston College is a very disappointing team, but they just treated them like rag dolls, like they beat the shit out of them. That was the best Florida State's looked in years. I mean, I would have to I certainly think Florida State's going to handle Wake Forest, and then who knows with NC State and Clemson, because you're going to play NC State the week after they play Clemson, I believe, if I've got my schedule right. So Florida State's in a great position, man.
All I got to say is, you think we went back and forth. You said Miami's going to be 2-2. Man, they can't even beat a team that's coached by an old Florida State quarterback. I just was saying I'm right. Jordan Travis Heisman. The Knowles may be back, and I'll call you up to follow
Okay.
up.
Cole, listen, first of all, Cole's a long-time caller, and he's great. He's fantastic. I like him. Fans just will not just accept, okay, good. They won't accept goodness. Jordan Travis is just not – he's good. He's been good. He's not a Heisman candidate right now. Like, he's not – he hasn't done that. He's been a good, solid quarterback. But he's not a Heisman guy. Like you can have a good quarterback and be happy to have that quarterback without saying, "Oh, my guy for Heisman." He's not going to win the Heisman. I mean, let's be real with each other. 888 Stool 22. Elliot in Miami, go.
I just want to talk about the Miami Hurricanes, Brandon Walker. Brandon Walker, you were one of the ones who believed in this Miami team, correct?
I did, yep.
Yeah, they have been a fraud my entire life. They are always back. They are always this unstoppable program at the beginning of the year. They win every offseason, but they always fail to show up week 1. They brag about their players right now. Look, they're quote-unquote good player right now who's missing their wide receiver. He's some pipsqueak 5'6" white receiver, Restrepo, who no one has heard of outside of the city of Miami. This kid will go undrafted and run a football camp in Ocala in 3 years.
Okay.
Let's not forget, we're 3 years removed from losing to a Butch Davis FIU team at the former Orange Bowl site. And finally, what happened to this first-round pick that they were talking about? TVD? What happened to him?
It was bad.
Have you seen him?
I have. I can see. It's bad. It's not good. him going after the Miami fan base last week and then getting benched this week, it's pretty shocking. I don't know if his crystal ball's running into culture issues. I don't know if the quarterback was overrated. I don't know, but something doesn't smell right at all within the Miami football program.
It's not shocking. This is who they are. They are a mid-major program who loses to schools like this. That's the bottom line.
Well, they're not a mid-major program. I mean, that's a little silly.
They are a mid-major program nowadays.
Well, they're not. That's just a dumb thing to say.
It's the truth.
Unless you don't know I don't think you understand what mid-major means. That's okay. I mean, that's fine, but they're not a mid-major program. 888 Stool 22. I want to see a Brandon Walker gambling movie when he's down and out to gin in the South. Okay, all right. That's fun. Could you make Zach Fossen not be here anymore? Like, it's one thing to talk shit, and I welcome it all. Just don't spam the same comment all the time. That gets on my nerves more than anything. 888 Stool 22. We go to Nick in Vancouver. Go, Nick.
Hey, King. Just wondering, I know, preface this is not my opinion, just a question. I know you always talk about Matt Rule being a logical choice to come down from the NFL.
Yeah.
And I know that he failed and got fired at his alma mater, which is really hard to do. But do you think Cliff Kingsbury is up there? Because I don't think he's going to last with the Cardinals. Do you think he has a shot to get a good head coaching job in college?
I don't know, man. A good one? No. Could he get Arizona State? Maybe. I don't. What's he ever proven as a head coach? He had a decent year last year with the Cardinals, and that's good. But you just said it. The guy got fired at his alma mater. He couldn't win games at his alma mater. He couldn't win games where he was trying to recreate what he himself did. So if he can't do it there, how's he going to do it at, say, a USC or Ohio State? I don't see Cliff Kingsbury having the appeal that Matt Rule is going to have in the college game. And hell, Matt Rule might be overrated by college fans, but I don't know how many college fan bases are going to be clamoring for Cliff Kingsbury.
I agree with you, but he got the Arizona head coaching job after being fired, and he went from the OC. Like, he didn't.
We all agree that was one of the weirdest things we've ever seen, right?
Yeah. So, but these ADs or.
Oh, okay. You're asking me if he'll get a job. Yeah, somebody will hire him. He's a young, good-looking guy that scores points. Somebody will hire him. Will he succeed? I doubt that. But you're right. Somebody's going to hire him. Arizona State would hire him.
Okay, thanks.
Like if Colorado came open, they would hire him, something like that. 888 Stool 22. I don't know if you can tell on camera. I've been sick for a week. I feel like warmed over shit. Just okay. That's a little much. I don't know that that's necessary. It's come on, guys. Alexander in Knoxville, go.
Hey, Brandon. This is the best I've felt on a Monday in a long-ass time.
Congratulations.
I have one question and a bit of a rant. My first question is, you said earlier in the show Tennessee's not a top 10 team. Not trying to be an asshole here or anything, but who would you put ahead of them right now? I just feel like there's not many good teams in college, great teams in college football.
That's a very, very fair assessment and statement. When a team loses, we just automatically drop them, right? And based on what Tennessee's accomplished so far, they deserve to be ranked where they are. I don't feel like when it all comes out in the wash, they're going to be a top 10 team. I don't think they're one of the top 10 best teams in the country. I think Oklahoma's probably better, even though they've lost. I think A&M's probably better. They've lost. I just don't think Tennessee's defense is going to give them a shot to stay in some of these games later in the season. I think they're a solid 9-3 team with a Heisman potential quarterback, but I don't think they're complete enough to go wire to wire in the top 10, or at least where they are now, all the way to the end in the top 10.
Okay. And then I wanted to ask you. You tweeted out yesterday, and a lot of people have been saying Hendon Hooker is a legit Heisman candidate now.
Mm-hmm.
How many what is the worst you can do as a team to have him be in the Heisman conversation. Like, can a 9-win team get him to New York?
I think a 9-win team can get him to New York. What was Lamar? What was Louisville when Lamar won? What was Baylor when RG3 won? If you are, far and away one of the best players in the country and put up highlights and stats, you can make it to New York. Some years you won't have a chance to win. Some years you will. Excuse me. And I think Hendon Hooker is going to put up numbers. Like if say they go 9-3. No, you know what? Yeah, let's say they go 9-3 and they lose to Alabama like 56-49. And they lose to Georgia, 35-21. And they lose to, I'm just going to say a team. I don't think you're going to lose to them, but I'm going to say you lose to Kentucky 42-38. Like, Hendon Hooker obviously will have done his job in all of those games. I think people will recognize that, and he could be standing at the end.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
Yeah, you have a good one too, sir. Let's check in on YouTube. JMU top 25 team. That was a hell of a game. That was a hell of a comeback. Hell of a pick by me. Gophers could easily win West. Ricky Roberson. Oh, Minnesota's winning the West. I mean, I don't even think that's a contest anymore. Iowa's bad. Nebraska's bad. Wisconsin's bad. Purdue's bad. Illinois is bad. Northwestern's bad. Minnesota's not bad. They win. That's not even a question. Line 7. I figured we might hear from him today. Joey in Manhattan, go.
Brandon, we did it. I was down last week. I called. I said by Friday I was going to convince myself we were beating Oklahoma. And by God, we beat Oklahoma.
Beat the shit out of them, too. I mean, just handled business.
Adrian Martinez deserved that, man. He was maligned. He was blamed at Nebraska. He played through injury. And the picture where he scored his last touchdown and took a bow, that is now the lock screen on my phone.
Well, that's pretty pathetic. But listen, when Adrian Martinez, they were leading by 7, he had 3rd and 16. I mean, if he were a better quarterback, that's a legit Heisman moment. Like if he were a Heisman contender, that's a Heisman moment. Like that guy stepped up and delivered a 50-yard run on the road against the top 10 team on 3rd and 16. It was incredible, and it was awesome to see a guy who's been at it for a while to break through and have that moment. Okay, Joey?
Hello?
Okay, Joey's just talking to. Hi. Okay. 888-STOOL-22. Brandon in Wichita. Now, you had a lot to say about your team last week. Brandon, how are you feeling?
Well, I feel like I just woke up from a dream. It feels like I went to sleep in August. I was of sane mind, sound mind and body. Yeah. I thought 9-3, reasonable expectation for a new coach after everything that happened. And then by the time we beat Nebraska, I was like playoffs for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I'm a normal human. I have a brain that functions occasionally. I don't know what happened. I feel like I just woke up.
Well, you fell into the trap that college football fans fall into, that if your team loses on Saturday, you can feel like shit. But by the time the next Saturday kicks off, you're going to think they're going to conquer the world. And for Oklahoma fans, they knew the challenges awaiting them this year. But as soon as you get in the mix and you start 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, oh my God, visions of playoff glory are dancing in your head, and that's fine. That's natural. But Saturday night looked like Lincoln Riley never left.
That's what I wanted to ask you. So I'm like, I have a hobby. I really like to shoot guns, like competitively.
Yeah.
And they talk about this thing called training scars, like because you have to drill it over and over and over again. But as somebody in practice can do it easy, but then as soon as the timer starts, you fall back on whatever errors you've made in practice. And it seemed like as soon as OU went down 14, it's like they fell right back into exactly the same defense they were before Venables got there. Like as soon as the pressure was on,
yeah,
all the coaching that they've got, all the improvements that looked like they had made just went right out the window, and they were back to doing the same old thing that they had been doing.
Well, the reality is you talked yourself into thinking that Venables could change the culture of a defense in 3 weeks, and that's just not possible. It's not. So any warts that were left over from Lincoln Riley are going to take at least half a season to a season to get rid of. So that's reality is Oklahoma's going to be fine. The gut reaction in the moment is, oh my God, we're bad defensively again. But give him a year. You won't be like this next year. Your defense won't be like that. I promise you. Thank you very much for the call. Did I do some cocaine? My nose is itching. TJ, I didn't do cocaine, did I? Stop doing that. Are you doing that or is he doing that?
I don't do anything.
I don't like. Stop doing that. Huh? Yeah, but to stop doing the.
I just press record, Brandon.
Okay. No, I didn't do cocaine.
How was Tennessee this weekend?
Good. I was in a coma the whole time. I'm dying. Michael in Portland. Could be Maine, could be Oregon. Probably Oregon. Go, Michael.
Yeah, it's Oregon. I was just calling because I'm hopping into NCAA 14 again. Was hoping to get a team suggestion from your experience playing the game. And
all right, let's just slow down here. Okay. Do you like to build from scratch, or do you like to take a team that's in the middle, or you like to take a team that's on top?
So I usually go the sentimental route. Last team I played with was the Cal Golden Bears, but there's nothing like building from the bottom up. So definitely not trying to start with a head start, if you know what I mean.
I always like to start in the MAC. Like an Akron. Akron's one of my favorite launching points. Ball State's a good launching point. You can go out west. You could do like an Idaho. Any of those work. But I like to. I take it down to 1 star and I look at all the 1-star teams, and I usually pick somebody in the MAC and do it like that. It's a fun league, and you got a bunch of similar teams, and they'll always play like an Ohio State or a Michigan to tell you where you are early in the season.
I feel that. I'll check out the uniforms and kind of
good uniforms there too. If you want, Northern Illinois might be one to look at. Although 2014 they're going to be too good to use. Ball State's another good one. Just don't use like Central Michigan. They got bad uniforms. All right, 888 Stool 22. Line 9. Line 9 has Diego in Houston. Go.
What is going on, Brandon Walker? Obviously, down here in Lubbock, we got that huge win against Texas. Shout out to Glennie Balls and Dana Beers for coming down for the Pink Whitney College Tour.
Yeah.
Obviously, huge win. I'm not sure about Kansas State, but I'm not here to talk about next week. I'm here to talk about them whiny-ass Texas fans.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, they're the worst. Once we won the game, they acted like, oh, they were better than us and stuff like that. Oh, this is your guys' Super Bowl. Like, if we had Quinn Ewers healthy, yes, we probably would have lost. But it doesn't matter. You get what you get. And Texas Tech won the game. And then, obviously, I don't know if you saw a video, but there's a Texas Tech fan who pushed a Texas player. That's unacceptable. That shouldn't happen. But they're acting like we're the worst fan base in the country. One fan doesn't represent us.
Right.
And so these Texas fans are whiny-ass bitches, as you would say, Brandon Walker.
I would say that. I would say that, and I say it often, and that one guy probably needs his ass arrested or at least his ass kicked. Anyway, but that's one – again, he's right. That's one fan. Texas fans are they're prone to do what I hate that a lot of fan bases do. When they lose to somebody in their state, they lose to somebody they view themselves as better than, even though they're not better than them. Like, Texas hasn't been better than Texas Tech for a long fucking time, but they hold themselves to a higher standard of, oh, we're better than you. And as soon as they lose, well, yeah, but it was your Super Bowl. Okay, Texas. If you lost because that game was more important to Texas Tech and they placed more value on it, you lost the game. So why didn't you place more value on it? Because it embarrasses you? It hurts your team? Maybe you should put more importance on games if you're going to get beat solely because the other team wants to beat you. That's a pussy way to look at football. You don't see Alabama losing to Troy and then saying, not that Texas Tech is Troy, and then saying, oh, my God, it was their Super Bowl. Yeah, it's their Super Bowl for a reason because you're supposed to be good. So don't put it on them when you don't hold you up your end of the bargain, you whiny-ass bitches. There, do you like that?
So one last thing. Horns down. Fuck Texas.
Fuck Texas, indeed. But when they do get Quinn Ewers back, they're going to be pretty good. So let's just make sure they're going to be pretty good. 8-8, still 22. Line 10, Brad in Michigan. Oh, well, now wait a minute. All of a sudden, hold on. What makes you think you get to call this fucking show?
How you been, Brandon?
No. What makes you think you can call this fucking show? What when I go on the internet and tell the truth about your program's bad schedule and say nothing else bad about your program, then you burn my shirt and you say you're out and you're never going to watch my show? What makes you think I give a fuck what you have to say?
I was calling to talk about it. Somebody told me to call in and talk.
You can call and apologize, or you can shut the fuck up.
Why would I apologize?
Shut the fuck up then. Goodbye, Brad. 8-8, stool 22. 8-8, stool 22. Let's see. Who we got here? Brian Bradley, good to see you too. Kyle Campling, Rock Chalk Jayhawk. Brooks, God, do not hate on NC State, Brandon. Give me hope, please. I'm not going to hate on NC State. Good team, good program. 8-8, stool 22. Sam in Denver. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Brandon. Hope you're doing well. I had a question for you. Since we all know that you're a baby to the Yak, would you rather do a baby name bet against Casey, against Texas A&M, or would you rather do a King of the South bet against Mincy in the Egg Bowl?
Well, there's nothing to bet with the King of the South. I mean, that's not a title that should just be thrown around lightly. It's not like something that's not important like a baby name. A baby name we can just do all day long. But the King of the South is a mindset. It's earned. And I will first of all, even when people said Mincy's this, Mincy's that, I was always the King of the fucking South. There's never been a moment in my life I wasn't the King of the South. So I can't bet that because it would be wrong for me to even try to bestow it on somebody else, especially somebody beneath me like him. And with Casey, yeah, I'll do a baby name bet. I'll have to go make a baby, which will require my penis to get hard, which hasn't happened in months. But anyway, I'll give it a shot.
Sounds good, man. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Did I say too much there? I feel like I might have said too much. I feel terrible. Can you get sick? I think I got multiple sicknesses in a row. I think I got sick because there was a moment like Thursday night I felt better. And by Friday morning I was down again. 888 stool 22. Casey Waller, confidence level in Mississippi State this weekend? 1,000. We're beating A&M. And then we're beating Arkansas. No problem. 888 stool 22. 888 stool 22. We go to line 2. It's Trey in Memphis, and my radar's up. Could be an Ole Miss fan. Trey, are you an Ole Miss fan?
Nah, I hate Ole Miss.
Okay.
I absolutely hate them.
All right, go.
But yeah, I'm talking about their little candy-ass uniforms this weekend. What are some of your favorite alternate uniforms over time, and do you think they really do anything to the team, or is it more for like the fans?
Well, I think it's for the players and the fans. I think it's for the players. I think players love them. And I think anytime you give a player a chance to play in something different or look a little better, I think it's fantastic. I personally love teams that take chances on alternate uniforms. I much prefer that to the way Alabama and Penn State do it, just do the same boring-ass uniform every day. Now, teams do fail sometimes, like Florida's Gator uniforms a couple years ago were the worst things ever. Oregon's the king of alternate uniforms. Maryland had a disaster alternate uniform once. I'm trying to think of who the best ones are. West Virginia with those icy whites they had earlier this year, those were fucking good. Any icy white's always good.
Yeah, the Oregon Stormtroopers a few years ago were really good too.
Yeah. Any icy white. I think Arizona State's had blacked out uniforms that were incredible with just the pitchfork on the side. That was good. Thank you very much, Trey from Memphis. TJ, how you doing?
I don't know, man. It's one of those things where like that game could have gone the other way pretty easily. You obviously didn't watch it, right?
There was a time in the second quarter where I said I'm going to watch this no matter how bad it gets, and it got so bad I couldn't watch it anymore.
Yeah, the final score was we lost by 17, and we gave them 14 points on defense. So You flip those, score 3 on one of those possessions, tie game. Who knows?
Just like that. Hank in Atlanta, go.
Hey, how you doing? So I'm a big Notre Dame fan, and I just watched, Notre Dame play really well against UNC. But before the game, I came as close as I ever have in my life to betting against Notre Dame. I had no faith in the offense at all. Is Gene Chizik that bad, or is Notre Dame figuring something out? What do you think?
Gene Chizik is that bad. Notre Dame's offense might be fine. I certainly don't think they got good in a week, especially with a backup quarterback. I'd still worry about my offense if I were you. Gene Chizik can make anybody look good. They made what did App State score? 61, including 40 in the fourth quarter. Gene Chizik is the worst defensive coordinator in the country. North Carolina might have the worst Power 5 defense in the country. Still won the game, so that's good. But I would not judge my offense based on that, because I think me, you, TJ, and Katie Stats could go score on North Carolina. 8-8, still 22. We go to Casey in Pennsylvania. Go, Casey.
Hey, what's going on, Brandon? Congrats on wrestling and fuck Michigan fans.
Yes.
Wanted to reach out about Penn State. I know you've been high on them this year. I can't help but feel like we're watching the same damn story over and over again, where we're just waiting to lose to Ohio State and Michigan. Are my expectations too high with wanting this program to be able to make a playoff? Is that on me? Or?
No. Your expectations are not too high for wanting your team to make a playoff. Listen, there's probably 20, 22, maybe 18 to 20 programs in the country that have reason to every year think they could make the playoff. And Penn State's one of those. Penn State is a good enough program where they should be in playoff contention most years. Now, will you lose to Michigan and Ohio State? Yeah, probably. I mean, I think Ohio State's beating everybody this year. Now, Michigan, I think will be a hell of a game in Michigan. I think you guys will take it to them, and you got a chance to beat them. That's a coin flip. Ohio State's not a coin flip. You're going to lose to that. You're going to lose that game. But could you go 10-2 with those two losses? Yeah, and I think that's a big step forward, especially with the 5-star freshman waiting in the wings to take your offense.
Can you explain to me what the holdup is on putting Aller in there? Why?
Well, because Clifford hasn't been bad. Like you don't want to put your freshman in and him be you don't want to get ahead of your skis on your freshman. Take time with the freshman. You don't want to put him in there and let him throw 3 picks in the first half, and all of a sudden you're dealing with a crisis of confidence. So you got a senior quarterback who's been there. Clifford's been fine. Let Clifford kind of row the boat for a while, and when Aller's ready, put him in.
Yeah, I guess so, man. Well, thanks so much. Good luck with wrestling. Wishing you the best.
Thank you very much. When I say I have a plan for wrestling that's bigger than maybe anything at Barstool, I mean it. So look out. Look out. 8-8, still 22. Can I do it? Do I have to go to 6? Can I end early at all?
Yeah, but no.
God damn it.
As the producer.
Well, can I sub out somebody?
Yeah, go grab somebody.
Fuck. I mean, I'm trying. Okay. Jake in Athens, go.
Hey, Brandon, big fan. Also a Penn State question. Just wanted to know, I think that Penn State is being overlooked. They've played really good in the first few games, and I think with playing Ohio State at home, they have a real chance to beat them. The best chance to beat Ohio State is having a physical team, and I think Penn State does. And especially playing at home, I think they have a real chance. And I wanted to know why you think Michigan is the runner-up to Ohio State instead of Penn State.
Well, at what point did I say that?
In Unnecessary Roughness, you and Casey were pretty much saying that Michigan is the only.
Oh, I think prior to the year I did think that. But having seen those teams now, I believe Penn State and Michigan are a coin flip game. So, yes, I did previously say that Michigan would finish second and Ohio State would finish first. But 4 weeks into the season, I have Penn State and Michigan on very, very similar planes. Now, that game is in the Big House, so you would give Michigan an advantage having that game at home. But I think Penn State is in the mix to finish second in the East. I don't think Ohio State's beatable by a Big Ten team, but if they were, their road trip to Penn State far and away their toughest test. There's Francis. Okay.
Are you nervous at all about Francis in the dozen?
No, I don't think he's going to be. Listen, Francis is a smart guy, but I don't think Francis is going to bring a lot of MLB, NBA, NFL, NHL knowledge, which is what Coley did for that team. Like Coley had the pop culture knowledge that Francis is going to have, but they're not going to have. Half the questions they're not going to have now. Unless Francis has this crazy NBA knowledge and this crazy MLB knowledge I don't know about, because Coley had it, and that meant Robbie and Coley could tag team the pop culture stuff. Coley could handle the pro sports stuff, and then Mintz could get a charity question every now and then because they felt bad for him. So I'm not worried about the Honkers. They are objectively worse than they were.
Are you excited about the Dozen live show in Philadelphia?
Just tell me where I got to be when I got to be somewhere. October 4th in Philadelphia, Season 3 kickoff with It's My Show. There's the experts right there. We're going to be facing – actually, I don't know if they've said who's going to be facing who yet, so I can't give you that. But it's going to be the Yak. It's going to be Frank and the Frankettes, the experts, and the flukiest champion of all time, the Uptown Balls, who absolutely were gifted a victory by the question writers. How's everybody doing out there?
Tickets still available.
Tickets still available. Contact your local ticket broker. Kevin in Boston. Go, Kevin.
Hey, Brandon. First things first, wanted to echo something you were saying on unnecessary roughness about JMU. That stadium, when you're pulling in, really is gorgeous, and it's a underrated, sneaky, very nice campus over there. But I wanted to talk to you about Clemson versus NC State. Now, I know Clemson had a tough game last week against Wake Forest, but I think this has been a game that's been, circled on their calendars all year. Dabo, even though he's the cringiest, biggest hypocrite coach in college football, he's a damn good coach. So I think specifically he'll have the defense, tuned up, ready to go this weekend. And I think if they're the playoff Clemson that they were, I think this is going to be their statement game, and I think they cover the number this weekend.
Oh, I agree with everything you said. I think Clemson is I think Clemson's better than people are giving them credit for. I think NC State's also great. This is sneaky, maybe one of the top 3 games of the year, because this could very well determine who the ACC sends as a playoff team, or at least their best playoff candidate. So I think it's a gigantic game. Clemson, in these big, gigantic moments, really usually come through, especially against an ACC team. So I would lean heavily towards the Clemson Tigers here, 888-STOOL-22. All right, Tim in Tennessee.
Hey, Brother Brandon. Just want to say congratulations on the big win for your Bulldogs. And what do you think it's more likely Tennessee goes 10-2 or 7-5, just from what you've seen?
Well, 10-2 is more likely than 7-5 for Tennessee.
Okay, all right.
Because listen, they've already got a couple of they got a couple of their toss-ups in the bag. Like Pitt, they won at Pitt and they won against Florida. That's a lot of hay that's already in the barn. And you look at the rest of the SEC. I mean, Missouri's a sure win for Tennessee. South Carolina's a sure win for Tennessee. Vanderbilt, we're 4-0. You're 4-0, right? That's 7 right there. So then you got Kentucky. I think you'll beat them. I think you'll beat, I don't know if you'll beat LSU. That's a toss-up, but I think you're definitely closer to 10-2 than you are 7-5.
Okay, well, I appreciate the analysis, and I hate to hear about your newfound cocaine addiction. It can mess your sciences up like that, so I really hope you can get some help with that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. 888-STOOL-22. Nobody said it was newfound, by the way. This guy's got it says Houston and a story.
Yeah, he said he wanted to help you get to 6.
You know what? I appreciate that. JD in St. Louis, the show is yours for the next however long you want it. Go.
What's up, King? I hope you're having a good day. So, yes, I have a question, but I want to preface it with a bit of a story, help you get to 6 o'clock. Very quickly, moving past the past 3 weeks for me, I had a $100 bet, hit well over 1,000. It was like an 8-leg parlay. It was beautiful. I loved it. Next, for the following 2 weeks, I lost $1,800. College football, That first couple weeks of NFL have made note to self, will not gamble first week of NFL next year. I've been down in the dumps. I have to go to the east side of St. Louis to place my bets. There's a woman doing black magic at me. She was standing in front of my truck, pointing at me, pointing at the sky, pointing back at me. It was a whole thing for like 10 minutes. Anyways, I couldn't have been doing worse at that point, so I thought the black magic was on my side. So I ended up losing more. I'm down. I got a couple $100 left in the account. I didn't want to have to put anything else in, so I decided to adopt a dog. I got a Shiba Inu, one of those Doge dogs. His name is Mo. I adopted him. As a good luck dog, as a betting dog, he placed all my bets last weekend. Bad news is I lost. So I will be selling Mo, short for Muhammad. I'm selling him in the next couple of days, but I'm not selling him till Saturdays, which means I got Friday night football, which was where we're at with Houston. Houston did not cover the spread last week against Rice. It was 10.5 points, and they were just giving up the ball like it's nobody's business. Their star linebacker, he's out. I know they got a rookie in at quarterback. I want to be able to keep my dog. I don't want to sell my dog, but Houston looks rough, and I actually, oh, no pun intended, I actually want to go Tulane against Houston this Friday. And I also like the over at 54.5 because my point earlier, I don't think Houston can hold on to the ball very well. Curious. I'm sure you're a big Houston and Tulane fan. I want your thoughts there.
Well, I have a couple holes in your story, first of all, okay?
Explain.
Shiba Inu is a very sought after breed sought after breed of dog. There's just not a chance you adopted a Shiba Inu.
Well, you're making assumptions with very broad strokes. I actually was a member of the Humane Society from a very young age because my parents would never let me have a dog. So we always just took care of dogs for like 2-3 weeks. Like I had a Hurricane Katrina dog. It was a wonderful dog. I trained it to like beat down my little brother in the backyard. It was wonderful. So I developed a lot of connections in the dog community in the area because I've actually been helping foster animals from a young age. So I'm not cold and heartless completely like you.
So using your connections you have gained at the Humane Society through years and years of tormenting your brother with a Katrina dog.
It wasn't through directly to Humane Society. I didn't go pick him up at the Humane Society. I picked him up at someone's house.
But again, you did that through your connections at the Humane Society.
Correct.
That were made through years and years of tormenting your brother with a Katrina dog.
Well, that was one example. I've had puppies. I've had kittens. I've had all sorts of...
I'm sorry. Hold on. Can I stop you there? Can you say the name for a baby cat again, please?
There's puppies and there's kittens. And at a young age, I actually thought all girl animals were the kittens and the boy animals were the puppies. And when it came out, it was like a male if it was a puppy and a female.
Okay, so you have had all manner of puppies and kittens. So
I'm trying to think if I've had anything else.
Okay, so you had all these puppies and kittens, and now you have Mo, a Shiba Inu, who you are going to sell because he has done poorly at gambling. But my question to you then...
I have the receipt.
My question to you would be, if you're going to sell Mo for being poor at gambling, wouldn't you then also sell yourself because you're the original poor gambler, which necessitated you going to get a gambling dog?
Wait, what was the question?
Well, you're selling Mo because he's bad at gambling, yes?
Yes, and I could use a little bit more money to put in the account.
Fair enough. But you went and got Mo originally because you needed a good luck charm because you were bad at gambling.
Correct.
So somebody should sell you.
We're not profitable.
Right.
So, yeah, where are the holes?
Well, the original hole was, I didn't think you could adopt a Shiba Inu because the Shiba Inus go for like $5,000 and $6,000.
Newsflash, Brandon Walker doesn't know everything, okay? There are some things out there you don't know. You just got to be open-minded and not attack people like this.
I didn't attack. I enjoyed the story. I think the story was good. I'm worried about Mo. I'm worried about the Shiba Inu. I'm not as worried about you. I think you're going to be fine. But what if you sell Mo to and another thing. I've been gambling a long time, man. I've had a couple of rough weeks. What if Mo kills October and he's in somebody else's house?
We've been talking for like 5 minutes. You haven't even addressed my question. What about Houston?
I have no idea what Houston means.
Football.
No, I got that. I'm just, if you sell Mo and he goes on a hot streak, you're gonna feel like an asshole.
But he's not going to make the picks anymore because I won't have him to make the picks.
But what if the person who adopted him is watching this stream right now and they say, you know what? Maybe Mo needs better food, better taken care of, and he's going to be a good gambling dog, and I'm going to give him another chance.
There's like 900 people watching right now. The odds of the person that adopts this dog and also watches your show is astronomically low.
Not really, because the 900 people that are watching are aware of the story. That's 900 people who could reach out to you right now and buy this dog.
Are you going to give them my information?
I might. Maybe I'll buy the dog. Maybe I'll buy the dog.
What is that? You got too much on your plate. You work way too hard. You're the hardest person working there. You got a family to raise. You keep putting more babies in the oven. You got enough.
How much are you selling Mo for?
I haven't decided. Obviously, I'll go to the highest bidder. No. I take that back. Steps back. I'll figure out right around where I can get them for them, and then I'll pick an older couple so I know they won't listen to your show.
I'll give you $500 for Mo right now.
How do I get them to you?
That's too easy. This is
Well, I know you. I watch you every day. I know you're a good person with a loving family. As long as Tommy doesn't start coloring on him or painting him, I think we'll be fine.
I think the dog would enjoy that. I think the dog would enjoy interacting with my son in that manner.
But are you still moving to the south, or are you going to Chi-Town?
I'm doing both. I bought a house down south, and I bought a house in Naperville, Illinois.
He doesn't want to go down to the south.
You don't know where that dog wants to go, sir. Plus, are you in St. Louis? That's basically the south. That's the front door to the south.
We're on the right side for the Civil War.
Yeah, I would probably lean Houston, too.
No, I told you I didn't want Houston. I said because they're so injured and play like shit against Rice. I'm actually thinking Tulane.
Yeah, I'd probably lean Tulane, too.
Oh, my God. I don't even know what to do. This wasn't helpful. Well, I got you to 6. I helped you out.
Well, we haven't got 6 yet. We're almost there.
What are you going to do for me?
Also, we'll get the dog sold, or first of all, you need to keep the dog because the dog's probably a good dog. Is he a good boy?
I had so many videos. Yeah, we were chasing outside the hose. He loves chasing after the hose. I can just tire him out, and then he's a
Stop. Does he like chasing after the water hose or just a bunch of bitches that walk through your yard?
You think I have a bunch of bitches walking through my yard? Again, St. Louis ain't that south.
Well, good luck to you.
All right, I'll see you next week.
Thank you very much.
Love you, bro.
You bought a house in Naperville?
No. Well, that was a really nice call. I enjoyed that. That was good. I hope that was entertaining. I actually enjoyed that. I want to apologize to the people that Bo in Athens, sorry. Brandon in South Florida, sorry. John in Florida, sorry. We'll get to you guys tomorrow. I'm very sick. Hopefully I'll be good. Thank you. We'll be back tomorrow.